My heart and sword, always for Demacia.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. You want me to wait while you go get them? Don't be a scaredy cat!
The fun begins.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Scuffed League. I am Dan Gottiboy Gottwalt, and today I have Stump with me. As you'll notice, he doesn't have a webcam today, but he's here. Say hi, Stump.
How you guys doing?
Today we've got a couple games for you. The first one is going to be the Iowa Kingslayers versus South Dakota Salvation. Stump, how do you think this first game's going to go for us?
Well, for how much I've seen so far, I think it might be a landslide for Iowa.
What makes you say that, Stump?
I mean, as I'm looking at it, yes, I'm pretty sure Mikey Poo is one of the fan favorites right now. But
Mikey Poo is indeed a favorite.
it looks like their team might be outclassed this time.
Yeah, and for those of you that aren't aware, on the side of Iowa, we have the Kings of Corn, as they're known. We have quite a few diamond players, including a challenger ADC, versus several silver players and the legend himself, Mikey Poo, in the jungle, trying to hold down the fort for them. So it's a bit skewed if you're looking at ranks alone.
Ooh.
Now, I will say, if we just look at these teams, obviously, Iowa is looking like quite the favorite. But I think instead of just talking about how much of a landslide it's going to be, Stump, let's talk about what South Dakota can do to actually combat this. Because I'm sure we've all been in those games. There's like 3-4 Smurfs on the enemy team, and you're sitting there with a bunch of like bronzies. How do you get the mental, and what kind of strategies do you think they can implement to actually win a game against a team that's obviously ranked a lot higher than them?
One thing that I myself have done in the past is try to get as much vision as possible.
Definitely.
Because
Definitely.
what the high elo people like to do is they like to take advantage of the lower elo players pushing at the wrong times, not knowing how to freeze lanes, and overall not as much game knowledge as them. Well, some people in lower elo can have a lot of game knowledge. They just can't put it together with their reaction times and all that. I know I sound stupid right now.
You're not
But,
stupid, Stump. Just because you don't have a face cam doesn't mean you're stupid.
like what they can do, what they can do is try to win over with vision, because they can see when people are roaming and then head to the other side of the map, try to get objectives over there.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, I'm looking at the support and jungle duo. Like we said, we've got Mikey Poo. He's normally a top lane main, but he has been playing jungle for them. I know last game he played Maokai jungle, which is a little bit of a spicier pick. It's definitely not meta, but I think I was talking to Stump earlier. I think the Maokai jungle is definitely a viable pick if you need a front line with some lockdown. His W is obviously a really easy lockdown CC. And your saplings, if you place them in your bushes in the jungle, they actually help clear really quickly. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to whip it out again, but I'm looking at the jungle and support not because of their picks, but how they're actually going to ward around the map. And I think it's between those two players especially that are going to need to get that vision that you're talking about.
It's like, well, another thing is, with him playing a lot of Maokai in the jungle, there's a big chance that the enemy team will ban out his Maokai.
This is
There
true.
is a big chance.
That's another thing. He is their highest ranked player at D4. And a strategy that we've seen some of the teams implement in this tournament is just target banning the highest ranked player. I personally don't like this strategy much because, in my opinion, if a player is good enough to be diamond or like they're the highest ranked player, I don't think it really matters what they're on unless they're like a total one trick. I don't think it really matters what champion they're on. I think they're going to play well no matter what. I think you try to focus on those weaker players, like their top laner Silver 4. What if you just target banned all of his champions? Then he's completely useless.
And then the enemy top laner has free reign over that lane. Jungler won't have to worry about it. Jungler focus, like mid lane or bot lane, which I don't think their bot lane's going to need much help.
Yeah, like we said, Raheen over on Iowa's side is a challenger ADC now. That's definitely one of the highest ranks I've seen in this tournament, if not the highest.
Like, so yeah, we have Lord Zuko up here at the top lane, Diamond 2. If they ban out Banana Jesus over here, they have a free lane top lane,
Yeah.
a for sure free lane top lane. Their jungler, which I'm not positive which one is their jungler right now. I'm not positive it's Zadox or Spartan.
All right, looks like we're going to head into draft here. Just starting on the bans. Iowa is going to be on blue side, and South Dakota is on red side.
Let's see how Iowa's going to start this off.
Time's ticking here. Let's see if they get their ban in. All right, Malphite for the first ban of the game.
And then an Ashe.
I like the Ashe ban coming in. I think she's just a really strong pick overall. She's got a lot of slows with her, her passive, and her pick potential is really good when she has her arrow up.
Ooh, another champion I'd like to see banned, even though I'm not positive the jungler plays. It looks like there's a Leona and Yumi on one team, and the other team has Pike. Looks like Pike, Zillion, Xerath, and Pantheon.
Yeah, absolutely. So support picks are going to be important, but it looks like South Dakota is going to focus on Raheen at ADC here. This is kind of the strategy I was saying I don't like, just target banning, but at the same time, those two picks are definitely the most highly coveted ADCs. And it looks like that second ban was a Morgana.
The second ban's Morgana?
Yep.
All right.
And a Jhin.
Going for the Jhin. Ooh,
three
a Lilia
ADC
ban.
bans. I like the Lilia ban here. Last Spartan man, the mid laner for Iowa, actually played Lilia mid there in last game. So kind of a niche pick because Lilia is mostly played in the jungle, and I've seen her top lane as well, but not so much in the mid lane. Iowa taking all their time too. Wait until the last second to get all their bans and picks in. And it is going to be the Graves first pick. All right.
Ooh, most likely a Graves jungle from experience.
And the Yasuo Vel'Koz combo. All right, so Vel'Koz has those knockups for Yasuo. That could be their bot lane. What do you think about that?
If played right, it is a really strong bot lane. Because Vel'Koz can give out the poke, and then Yasuo, if they try to engage, if they're both ranged and try to engage, he can stop and engage real quick with a wind wall.
And, maybe South Dakota's thought process is, let's just YOLO it. Let's just pick something kind of crazy. So it is going to be the Ezreal in response, something a little safer in the bot lane for Raheen. And we'll see if they pair up the support with it as well. I would be expecting a Thresh. I know that Firelight likes to play that champion. He played it last game as well. And I think it's just a good playmaker. And all right, this is going to be the Fiora in the top lane instead.
The Fiora pick.
Interesting, they would just blind pick the Fiora. Maybe they think it's the Yasuo top.
Well, it's also a strong pick against CC because of Fiora's parry.
And one thing I should mention is Banana, one of his best champions is Fiora, so that does take that away from him. And, like we said, this top lane, every matchup's going to be a little skewed, but maybe they're just trying to look for a strong a laner in Fiora to split push.
Ooh, and there comes the Thresh ban.
Not surprised to see that come out, as we said. Firelight, definitely a great Thresh player. Lots of pick potential with his hook and the Lantern to get people out of sketchy situations as well.
It makes me wonder what the Iowa's be picking as their support now.
Yeah, and it's still really hard to tell with those first two picks from South Dakota where exactly those are going. We'll see what that ban was supposed to be here. Maokai ban. So you called it, Stump. It is the Maokai ban. But I'm a little surprised to see that actually, because I think it's Gragas jungle. And
Most
I don't
likely.
think that Banana plays Maokai. I mean, everybody plays Maokai. He's kind of a brain dead tank champion, but
I mean, if he's going up against a Fiora, he wants something that wouldn't have a great amount of CC because of the risk of the CC being turned against you, but then having, oh, actually, that Orn pick is really good against Fiora.
yeah, I like that a lot actually. That he has lots of damage and sustain, and it looks like Iowa has conceded their last ban. They weren't able to get it in at the last second, so apologies to our observers. Pro draft can be a little difficult to use sometimes, but that was a Morgana ban, and then a Maokai ban, and then a no ban, and Rakan for the support. I like that pick a lot. What do you think of that stuff?
It's actually against their team. It's really good because if it is a Yasuo bot lane, Rakan can just bypass wind wall, get in and knock up that Yasuo. Ezreal can get up around that wind wall. They're most likely. It looks like they're trying to play around a Vel'Koz Yasuo bot lane.
Yeah, and it really is looking like just a funneled Yasuo comp. We're going to see the Lissandra locked in mid lane as we talk about that. But look at South Dakota's lineup. They have all knockups in every single lane. You have the Ornal, you've got the Nautilus ult, you've got Gragas ult, Vel'Koz E. I mean, if this Yasuo is able to get online, this is looking like a scary game for Iowa. But like we said, with these ranked differences, we'll see if South Dakota is able to pull it off.
It's gonna be a tough one though.
Now, I am curious, Stump. If we just look at the top lane matchup, you said it was that you liked the Ornn pick into the Fiora. What are your further thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, yes, Ornn does have a little bit of CC, but he also has his Flame Breath, which allows him to, if trying to CC Fiora and Fiora goes to parry, he could use it to counter any CC coming from the Fiora parry. So it's good to play into Fiora. Plus, early game, if need be, he doesn't have to actually back to get his items. He can use his passive, which I believe is one of the, I think, the best passives in the game. Being able to buy, upgrade items, further their team's advantage if they have an advantage, help the team get up from behind. Because I believe it's every Ornn item is about 1,000 gold. I think
Yeah, definitely a great resource to have later in the game with those Ornn items. You can get that upgraded Infinity Edge for Yasuo. You can get the upgraded Death Cap. I believe Zonia is also another item from Ornn. So if South Dakota is able to kind of snowball this Yasuo and get those items on their carries, this could be a scary game for Iowa. They do have a lot of safety with the Ezreal and the Lissandra. And I think those are pretty smart picks from their carries, actually. Yasuo's not going to be able to just all in the Lissandra if she ults herself or Zonia's, Ezreal, he's going to have to be a little more careful, if they hit a Gragas ult or any knockup, really. I mean, Nautilus R is going to follow him through his arcane shift. So, if the ADC on South Dakota's side is able to snowball a lead with this Yasuo, it could be we could have a game on our hands, Stump.
I want to at least see this game go past 25-30 minutes.
Yeah, let's hope it goes past 25 minutes. We want some spicy games, we want some fun games, we want some close games.
With the Ornn Gragas, I mean, timing on their ultimates can break or make a team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think timing CC and chaining it is going to be really important for South Dakota. You don't want to hit all your CC at once or you lose all of the value out of it. The Fiora, like you said, that parry could be really important in some of these team fights. Timing it just right for those knockups. But I am pretty surprised about the Graves pick. He's a pretty strong pick, but I guess I didn't know that their jungler played that much.
I don't think I saw that much from Graves.
So he could also be testing something out, but here we are in the second round of the tournament here for Scuffed League, and getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. I guess that's all right. You don't want to pull a C9 and start experimenting and then not make it to Worlds. Totally, totally not sad about that, but
Yeah. Well, actually, looking at it again, I thought it was going to be Zadox as their jungler, but it actually is Last Spartan Man, which has played quite a bit of
yeah,
jungle,
yeah, and
jungle Graves.
it does look like they're either using a Smurf or they've subbed somebody in at mid lane.
They probably subbed someone in. I haven't
Yeah.
checked that yet.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get some confirmation on that, but it does look like there is a sub in the mid lane. His name is Subaru Natsuki. He'll be playing Lysandra, and then their normal mid laner, Last Spartan Man, is going to be moving to the jungle on the Graves. So that could be why we didn't see any Graves play. Their normal jungler isn't in this game, so.
Subaru Natsuki, let's see if he can use his.
And it is confirmed he is a sub. All right.
All right. Let's see if he can use his back by death to win this game for him.
Yeah, and with the sub on the team, it could be a little bit of an issue, communication. I don't know if they have a 6-man on the roster or anything like that,
But also another thing we haven't taken in consideration that's a Vel'Koz Nautilus bot lane.
that is a very good point to make. It is actually going to be TCG Hopeless in the mid lane with the Yasuo, and I think that's actually a smarter move. The Yasuo is able to get more solo XP and farm than he would be in the bot lane. Vel'Koz is going to be able to trade poke back and forth with the Ezreal a little better than the Yasuo. And I think the Lysandra pick still is pretty smart here. It's going to be hard for this Yasuo to really snowball much of a lead, especially after she hits 6 on that mid lane champion. Obviously, Lysandra ult is the ultimate cock block to getting a kill early in the game. But I am going to be looking at Mikey Poo to kind of get some pressure early, get that river vision and that scuttle priority, so that this Graves is kind of forced to just sit back and farm, and maybe they can get some roams off with the Yasuo, either bot or top lane, with all these knockups that they have.
I want to try to see the Yasuo roam bot lane. Yes, because it would, if they can play safe bot lane and not allow the Ezreal to get kills early, that Yasuo can come down bot, make plays post 6.
Absolutely.
And then that could be the turning point for their game.
Yeah, like I said, Raheen on this Ezreal pick, he's just going to be able to be really safe, but with a Gragas ult timed and placed in the right spot, Yasuo should be able to follow up really easily with his ultimate as well. They can kind of layer the CC on with the Nautilus ult and things like that. And in all honesty, if they're able to pull off a roam with this Yasuo, get him that first kill, I think it could be a really good situation for South Dakota. I think the Orange's going to have to play weak side, and we're going to be looking for Lord Cusco to maybe try to push, his latent prowess, his lane kingdom up there with the Fiora and get a split push going at some point in the game.
Yeah, and I got that feeling that Fiora, of course, like most Fioras, team at first item. And then it's just going to push him in under turret. And then he's probably going to end up losing out on a lot of farm. And not just like...
Fiora farming is really easy to do once you get that team at, so that's a good point.
It's going to be most likely a big push in on that top lane. And I mean, if Gragas can take advantage of that, Fiora hard pushing on a lot, it'll work out.
Absolutely. And it's just going to be a little longer until we get into the game here. Final predictions here based on the draft, just not looking at the players. Stump, who do you think had the better draft here today?
I mean, draft-wise, I would believe it would have been South Dakota. That's just under... They have a lot of hard CC. And with, well, looking at the players, you know what I would think.
That's why I asked. Don't look at the ranks. Don't look at the players.
But I think South Dakota has a better team than Iowa does.
Definitely, and it's hard to
If they
tell what
could
Iowa
break
really
out
wants
a
to
lane
do.
phase early.
You know, Iowa has a lot of kiting on their team with the Ezreal. Lissandra can go back, things like that. But only time will tell here. We are getting into the game here now, so the players are spawning in, and we are finally on the Rift for our first game of the night. And we'll see if they go with a 5-point start. It's pretty typical for teams to do that in Scuffed League, but it does
Oh.
look like they are stacking 3 up on the top side on the side
Did you not see him?
Iowa. Mikey Poo. Big man's just chilling. I don't think he wants to walk into the river, but we'll see if he gets a little ballsy throwing a ward out there. And there are 4 here now as Firelight comes up with the Rakan. Might look for a cheeky W.
If he can get that W off, that's most likely first blood. Ooh, never mind. He's going back.
Mikey Poo showing the resistance to go up and ward in the river there. I'm guessing he did see them there, so we'll see if Iowa decides to dip out or if the Graves decides to invade on their red buff.
I mean, if they do invade, there are no wards there.
Yeah, and it does
He didn't
look
even
like
try
they're
to-
walking up.
Looks like Graves is trying to go in deep.
Yep, and it is going to be a red invade. The Fiora is going to help out with that leash, and hopefully Banana in the top lane will point out that the Fiora isn't there right away. Maybe they know that he's at least starting top side. But like you said, there's no wards there, so there's really no way that they know for sure that he took that red, and he is going to move straight to the Raptors after that. So already last Spartan man on the Graves kind of establishing some dominance with his early invade on the Raptors and the red buff.
Ooh. Them getting bot lane, they're already getting some poke damage in. Doesn't look like Fiora's trying to go in too much, just trying to poke a little bit.
Yeah, and we already see the Lissandra coming out to quite a bit. Oh, we got a fight in the bot lane.
Just a little trade, or they're gonna try to keep going. Ooh, got close to getting that Vel'Koz though.
Like I was saying there, Yasuo already getting pushed under his tower as well as the bot lane. The Ezreal just throwing out those Qs, just constantly trying to get that wave pushed in as much as possible to deny as much farm as possible. And we do see in the minimap there, Gragas did go on to Graves' red buff, and he's now moving on to the Raptors. So really smart move by Mikey Poo. He must have realized that his top side was being taken. It looks like Yasuo did ward their Raptors and noticed that there was only one left there. So he makes the smart decision. He moves down to the bot side, and he'll match that vertical farming. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Already a nice fight mid. He came in with his Oh, is Graves gonna go after?
Flash.
Graves is going after the Mikey Poo here. Is Mikey Poo gonna? Oh, it does not look like Mikey Poo's gonna be able to get out of that. Rakan roaming up. I did not see any reaction from South Dakota.
Yeah, you know, the bot lane really couldn't get there. They were pushed in. Really good roam from Firelight on the Rakan to secure that kill for them. Unfortunately, he does get the kill. That's the last person you want to get it on, but really good beginning engage from Mikey Poo with the flash body slam there, but unfortunately the Yasuo not able to follow up as there was a pretty big wave crashing in.
If he had waited just was like a second longer to let Yasuo move up a little more, that probably would have ended up in a kill for them.
Fiora hits the W there.
And Prox Conqueror. Doesn't look like Ornn's gonna be able to trade much more.
You know, we got a fight in the river here over Scuttle. Rakan goes in.
Rakan pulling out the plays. Yasuo throwing up that wind wall. But it looks like Mikey Poo might get out of this. Yeah, Mikey Poo's getting out of that. Looks like Vel'Koz stayed down bottom. Nautilus decided to roam up to help.
Yeah, we're already seeing the proactiveness of Iowa coming out. 4 members in the jungle on that play there to secure that scuttler, and another play bot lane with the Rakan.
Looks like was Nautilus gonna get away again? Oh no, Graves is coming up. Oh, he exhausted the Graves. Was that Rakan exhausted him? Graves got the kill.
Yeah, it's actually Graves exhaust. I was going to point that out. Pretty
Graves has
interesting
exhaust?
item.
Oh,
I
he's
think
going
it's mainly
to
for the
exhaust
Yasuo.
might. Oh,
And it looks like Vel'Koz has left the game. Hopefully they pause if that's an issue. And they are going to pause the game out here. We'll hopefully get back into the game soon. Looks like it might have just been a connection issue. Well, Stump, we've already got a decent amount to analyze here. That early game already going pretty rough, 2-0. About a 2K gold lead already for Iowa. What do you think's gone wrong for South Dakota?
I mean, they're not trying to wait out fights and not trying to see where the Graves pops up first, because they had no vision of the Graves there in mid lane when the first fight happened. They had no vision on Graves, and then as soon as Gragas showed himself, that Rakan immediately went up to mid.
Yeah, it is really important. Anytime you're in a solo queue game, you really want to try to refrain from making plays on the map as a jungler unless you know where the enemy jungler is. That is a perfect example. They got the jump on the Lissandra, but they didn't have the follow-up damage. And then by the time, they wanted to keep fighting and go for that kill, it was too late. The Graves had already shown up and the Rakan. So, if that play goes awry, you got to get out of there as soon as possible. And Mikey Poo just looking for a little bit too much, I think, and ultimately dies at the end of the play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it went that way, though. Is what we've seen
So, I do have a problem here too. I think bot lane Vel'Koz has been getting pushed in a little bit too much for the Ezreal early. Ezreal obviously can push a lane, but his Q spamming is going to require him to use a lot of mana before he gets his tier, and I think Vel'Koz should be able to match Ezreal push. So it is a little upsetting that their bot lane's been pushed in so far. They are keeping up in farm pretty well, as they're actually even at this state in the game. But, I don't know if Vel'Koz was having connection issues or things like that, but that roam mid lane was definitely a big problem for the Rakan.
I mean, one thing about Vel'Koz is Vel'Koz does have a better under tower farm a farm under tower better than an Ezreal can. So the Iowa pushing them in gives Vel'Koz on the advantage to farm under tower, keeping him a little safer, and then also allowing Gragas the ability to gank the lane.
Absolutely.
Even though they do have a lot, it looks like they do have a lot of vision. Well, at least vision on the bush down there. So Vel'Koz would have to go through the enemy jungle to get in. Oh, looks like we're back.
Yes. All right. So it looks like it might have just been a connection issue with the Vel'Koz. We are back into the game. Like we said, state of the game looking a little rough for South Dakota early. They're keeping up in farm pretty decently, besides a bit of a discrepancy in the top lane. But just 2 kills. It's not the end of the world for South Dakota. There's still an opportunity for this Yasuo to get online. Top lane, we got to fight.
He's coming in. Oh, she missed the parry. He's got the knock up there. Kill goes onto the Gragas.
Very well played there. Mikey Poo hits the Gragas E right away there, and then Fiora gets a nice parry off, but then the Ornn follows up with the knock up to secure that kill, and it does go over to Mikey Poo on the Gragas. I think that is very good for them. Really don't need the kills on the Ornn. I think it's better for the Gragas to get the damage off so they can burst out some of those squishy carries on the side of Iowa.
I'm wanting to see what he's going to do with this a little bit of gold league. Oh, we have a Rakan here mid now.
This could look pretty bad here for the Yasuo. Let's see if they decide to dive, and Mikey Poo is there.
Ooh, Mikey didn't check the bush. Bush also isn't warded.
3 people mid here with the Rakan.
That could have been the fall of them right there.
Dodge a bullet there.
Ooh. Well, no, Rakan staying. They might try to
Gragas-
go in under. They might try to dive tower for Mikey here. Going in with the ult. Rakan going in with the W, knocking up. Graves coming back in. Ooh, he just barely got out.
Oh! Oh my
Ooh, she barely got out too. That tower shot, I was hoping that tower shot was gonna kill her, to be honest.
Wow, a little disjointed from Iowa there. Lysandra just kind of ults when the Graves is walking away. I think that could have been executed a little bit better with more tower aggro swapping, and Subaru almost dies to tower there with just a sliver of his health left.
Now I see that the Bjorn here decided to go with a Bramble Vest first, which against Bjorn was always good.
Yeah, I think that's the right move here. You know, she's got a lot of healing, especially once she gets that team mat finished up later on. So I think that's definitely the right move to go. There's a lot of AD on the side of Iowa as well. So that item will be good later into the game as well.
And ooh, with that knockup they just had on that Ezreal, if there were no minions there, that Nautilus could have hooked, and that could have been a death for the Ezreal, but they're lucky they had the wave there.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh!
Oh.
Rakan dove up under turret with W, but doesn't look like they were able to pick anything out of that.
That was a
Vel'Koz
pretty
is low,
good
though.
play.
That
Yeah,
was
you know,
good
they're a little
play.
too poked out. And, you know, if you look at the levels, Ezreal's already 6, whereas Vel'Koz is 5. And, you know, even if they wanted to go in on that play, I don't think they have the damage.
I mean, if Vel'Koz can proc his passive, they have the damage, but other than that...
Another
Vel'Koz
nice
going for
hook.
clear, going in. Rakan on the knockup on Vel'Koz and Ignite. Ooh, Vel'Koz is down. Are they going to get Nautilus too?
Doesn't look like it.
Nope, and they're clearing the control they had in the bush too.
Mikey
See-
Poo is coming down.
Mikey Poo is coming down. Do they notice the other control? No, they don't.
Looks like he's just going to go for his blue.
Is Graves going for that dragon?
It looks like he might have started it up here. You know, the bot lane, the carry is dead, so he's just going to take that for free.
Yeah, and they don't. Red side does not have any vision on it either. Now it's going up into their jungle.
A little bit of vision wars going on here. Mikey Poo might look for a play. Vel'Koz is here.
Vel'Koz is also
Ooh.
6. If he can
Oh,
get a
that
nice
damage.
ultimate off. Ooh, nope. He's gonna get. It's gonna go down to Raheen. Actually, he ulted to get that. Now Rakan might go
Wow.
down here to the Nautilus. And, well, we have Lysandra coming in with her ultimate. Graves ulting over the wall on the Vel'Koz.
Oh,
He
he's
also got
blind.
exhausted. Ooh,
That
Lysandra
HP.
picked up the kill. Oh wait,
Oh!
there is just way too much fighting going on right now.
Everywhere.
There was way too much. Is he trying to execute?
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
he still gave the kill.
Wow. So at the end of the day, it ends up being, I believe that was a 3-for-1. I believe
I-
Mikey Poo dies on the Gragas. Oh, and they want more.
Ooh, he tried, but he missed. He tried, but he missed.
Mikey Poo kind of running it down there. His team's not there with him yet. He's trying to make the hero play, trying to get some return kills after they greeted out to stay in lane, but ends up falling again. Now 1 and 3 on this Greg is falling heavily down in farm. He's now 38 farm to 92.
Now I wonder if they know the Rakan backed, or if they think Rakan's still sitting in the bush.
I think they're assuming he backed at this point, but in all honesty, even if they wanted to fight this Ezreal right now, they just don't have the damage. Only a tier on the Vel'Koz. I mean, just look at the items: a full Manamune and a Sheen for the Ezreal to just a tier,
Yeah,
and a couple components.
it looks like he's going into Archangels into Rod of Ages on Vel'Koz in the bot lane. Is what it looks like.
It looks like it. Yep. So you usually go the tier and then you start building the catalyst. But honestly, at this point, it's going to be a very long time before this Vel'Koz gets anywhere into the game. He is going to back and try to finish his catalyst, probably. We'll see what he decides to buy here. Yep, and it
When
is
I
gonna be the
noticed that
catalyst boost.
Graves is over there, is he Rift isn't up yet, is it? Or
Fight
is
top
Rift up?
lane.
No. He got away, luckily. Graves is coming in. Are they gonna try to do a dive? Graves does have Rift.
Yep, and the plates are at a perfect spot. They can finish off the tower if he chooses to use it right now.
Are they gonna try? Well, Yasuo's backing up. Is he gonna actually go back to base, or well, there goes the Rift.
Yep, Rift has been spawned mid lane. And Rakan is there again. I swear, Firelight, it might as well just support Subaru on this Lissandra. Meanwhile, we have a fight in the top lane. Great parry.
Ooh, the parry into the Gragas ultimate. That was a really nice parry time. And then Ornn picks up another kill on the Fiora.
Banana. Yeah, that top lane is at what cost, though? Meanwhile, Rakan going for the 1v2 play.
1v2 top lane was... He won, though. Technically, he won. And it looks like we lost 2 towers mid lane to that Rift Herald.
Yeah, so Mikey Poo decides that mid lane's lost. He's like, screw you, I'm going top. We're going to get the kill on the Fiora. Meanwhile, they do lose both of their towers, and he's going to get dove top lane here.
Yeah, that Graves is most likely to pick up the... Graves is such a strong champion right now.
Yoink.
Sitting
on a ward.
Yeah, they know she's over there. Ooh, is she about to get the double?
They're both 10 HP. TP coming in.
Ooh, that looks like that Fiora's gonna pick up the Nautilus kill. And Yasuo's in a really sticky situation right now. Is he gonna make it out?
Looks like he is, but again, at what cost? All of this is just going downhill for South Dakota. You know, they tried to be the heroes, you know, try to come back and make those plays after Iowa won the initial fights, and every time they are just losing. This Rakan is just everywhere on the map. And what a play from Subaru Natsuki on the Lissandra. Practically one-shots both of the bot laners.
Ooh, and that Rakan playing basically a second jungle right now is what it looks like.
Jungle Rakan.
I mean, hey, Bard jungle was a thing for a while. Maybe we can do Rakan jungle now.
Ooh. Nautilus Q just misses there. And it's really been a 1v2 lane all game, like we're saying. You know, this Rakan has been roaming all over the map, making plays where he needs to. And Ezreal, you know, Raheen just playing nice and safe, farming it up. He's got a great farm lead on Wanost in the bot lane. I hope I said that right. Maybe it's Vanost. Wanost. Another top lane play.
Ooh, ults her away. Sort of looks like saves her because they could have gone in and they could have killed her unless she she doesn't have ult up. Now they're going in on Ezreal. Oh, got 2
fights everywhere again.
Ooh, the ultimate from the Rakan and the Graves.
Oh man.
You pick up that double bot lane. And then another double top lane.
That is a 4 for 0 across the map. 4 for 0 across the map there for Iowa. And shout out to Jazz, our observer, trying to keep up with all these fights across the map. That's the second time this game we've had a fight, both top and bot. So good job keeping up with those. It's definitely been a crazy game.
Man, seeing this Graves jump around this map like that, and this Rakan jump around this map like that.
Another fight in the bot lane. Oh my gosh, the damage.
Ooh. Graves going in deep. Looks like that Smite's gonna pick up the Yasuo
Red
kill.
buff.
Is red buff, or was that also Smite, or was that just straight up red buff? It looks like
Red
the
buff
Lissandra
burned him
ulting
away
down
there.
under.
And the ignite
Looks like
on
she
top.
also, yeah, I was about to say he also ignited on that.
This is just hard to watch.
Yeah.
Well, Stump, you know, we wanted to believe that the Yasuo could get online, but it just really hasn't. Meanwhile, Bananas dancing in his
I want to find this funny if this Graves kills himself off the Ornn Bramble Vest.
I mean, he's stuck in the base with 3 right now.
Yeah, it looked like Lissandra's pushed up the wave to help him get out and push in that turret. We're
Firelight
conting on the other side of the wall,
Yeah.
waiting for that engage.
Oh, nice ult.
Ooh, that was a nice
There's
ult.
that combo we talked about.
Is that
Nice
Rakan
hook.
still gonna get out though?
Whew.
That
Crazy.
Rakan's getting out.
How much HP does he have?
He looks like he has about 30. That Falcon's picking
right.
him up with the ultimate.
That settles that. 0 HP.
How much HP do you have? I don't know. It looks like he's dead now.
Ezreal is behind enemy lines here in the jungle, and I like this. South Dakota pushing the tempo, going for the dragon.
I don't know. Are they going to be able to
It's a
secure
mult.
the dragon, or is they going to have a Lissandra? They got the dragon. Now, if they would all just turn onto that Ezreal.
Nice knockout. Oh, big
Ooh,
Lysandra player.
Lysandra come in with the big stun.
Huge
3
damage.
kills, 2 to Ezreal, 1 to Fiora. Looks. Ooh.
That
The rest of
was
them gonna get out of
massive.
that?
That was
Looks like
3
they're cheating now.
kills. 3 kills for Dragon, and it is now sitting 23-5, a 16k gold lead for Iowa. Really great follow-up there. They really don't care that Dragon's given over. They really haven't been focusing Dragons this game either. I mean, they've just been happy to get kills, get towers, and just close this game out as quickly as possible. We're sitting at 17 minutes. And I don't know, Stump, it might look like your hopes for a 25-minute or longer game, they're slipping away.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they should make it spicy. They should totally give South Dakota a couple kills to make it a little spicy.
Just a couple, you know. But
Just-
one thing we need to mention: Yasuo just needs to die 8 more times, and he'll automatically start popping off. The 0-10 Yasuo power spike.
I know, it always happens.
Meanwhile, fight might break out here in the top lane.
Ooh, Rakan engaging with ult and W. Graves getting out a lot of damage. What Yasuo with the wind wall coming up. Ooh, Orn missed his knockup. If Orn had gotten that knockup, Lissandra's coming back in, stunning, ulting the Yasuo. Graves coming in. Ooh, and Rakan picking up the kill. That Rakan's been picking up a lot of kills today.
And he deserves it, honestly. First Light playing like an absolute madman this game. Ezreal, oh my goodness.
He's going in. Ooh, he got the hook came down onto him. Ooh. I
And
mean,
another 2 kills.
it's just. It's too
What
much
can you
damage
do?
for him.
What can you do?
It's too much
Stump?
damage for him.
And it does look like Iowa's going to close this game out here. They have minions crashing in the top and mid wave. Fiora pushing the bot lane. Raheem's just playing with his food.
Oh my gosh. Look at his feet.
Oh, gets knocked
Oh,
out.
the Orn into the Yasuo ultimate.
That's a 1k shutdown.
I mean, he might not have to hit 0-10. Ooh, and then the shutdown on the Rakan. I mean, hey, they're giving them a couple kills, which I like.
Hey, exactly what you said. Here comes Nautilus ult.
And the Nautilus ult into the Vel'Koz ult into... Is Yasuo going to pick up the kill?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh.
that was close, though. Gragas ended up picking up the kill. Lysandra coming in, stunning, and then ulting the
Fiora.
Gragas to keep him still. Lysandra picking up another kill. A double knockup from that Orn. But it looks like he's still going to end up going down.
Valiant effort from South Dakota. You know, Iowa getting a little cocky there. Going under the tower, under the Nexus, trying to get those more kills. And 1k gold lead, 1k bounty, I believe, went to the Yasuo. I don't recall who got that shutdown, but I believe it was Yasuo. He is sitting with the most gold on the team now. So, you know, there's hope. Just a little bit.
Oh. I think he was hoping that the Vel'Koz was going to throw his knockup at the same time Gragas threw his, because that would have canceled Gragas' knockup, but kept the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, they're just getting poked out so hard from this Ezreal. Raheem 6-1. 2 items finished. Almost got that Death Dance finished as well on the Ezreal.
Man,
They're just going to try to defend.
Well, another thing, like I said, if they had been able to get those wards up early and been able to get more vision among the map than Iowa, this match would have gone different.
Yeah, you know, a lot of things I'm sure South Dakota wish went different. Fight.
Ooh, another ultimate down on, it looked like on the Yasuo. Yasuo got killed by...
Yasuo's dead.
Yasuo's dead.
I
Savior's
think
gone.
the fight's over.
Orn whiffing his ultimate, and... Man, if only that Yasuo could have gotten to 0-10 quicker. He would have hit that power spike.
Yeah, so
Looks
this
like, are
is
they
going to
going to
be
try to
Iowa
kill them
closing
in
it
their
out here.
fountain?
So
Looks like Graves is
greedy.
going to end up... Oh, Graves is down. Come on, Rakan. You can go in that fountain. You can kill him under that fountain. You can do it.
Raheem's all healed up.
He's got the knock. I got ult. Hold.
Oh,
Stunned.
CC.
Rooted. Dead.
See, we can see what South Dakota was going for with that CC chain, but they just got so far behind. Lasandra's going to
Sandra
come
got
in.
the double kill.
Double kill.
Ooh.
This is such a scrappy game, my goodness.
Yeah.
And look at the minions. They're going to hack away at the Nexus. That is going to be the end of this one, folks. Iowa comes out with the win over South Dakota, 34-10. The Kings of Corn move on. And honestly, you know, South Dakota, I got to give them props for fighting back. You know, but let's be honest, we knew how this one was going to end. South Dakota, good try. GG, no re. uh, but Stump, I mean, final comments on this game, Stump.
I mean, it went exactly how some of us probably thought it was going to end up going, especially with the challenger down there in the bot lane. But man, they brought that sub in. That sub went 11-0 in the mid lane as Lissandra versus a Yasuo.
Absolutely. Great play coming out of Iowa. We're going to go to a quick break here. Next up, we have North Carolina and New Jersey. All right, welcome back to Scuffed League. I'm Gotti Boy, and this is Stump joined with me today. Thank you for tuning in. Our second match of the night is going to be North Carolina Glamour and New Jersey Hunt. Hopefully, we've got a bit of a closer match this time around. Stump, you were mentioning these teams look a little closer. What makes you say that?
Well, looking at not just this season, but also last season, the ranks are actually pretty close. We got this year though. That's three. I believe this was. Oh no, I forgot which team they were on now.
Got them all
Brain fart.
mixed up.
Brain fart. All right. So we have New Jersey with 3 golds, a platinum, and a diamond. And then we have North Carolina with straight diamonds.
Yeah.
There could still be a chance where
Well,
where the underdogs come back.
I'm gonna be honest. I think regardless, this game should be closer because there's a certain point that you reach in the game where you at least understand how to play from behind a little bit. We have a lot of diamond players on the side of North Carolina Glamour, but I think New Jersey has the skill set to compete a little better here. And there's not as much of a disparity between, like silver to diamond, silver to challenger. It's a little bit like it's like D4, D2 to like gold one. So I mean, just statistically speaking, these teams should be a little closer match, right?
Yeah, it should be really close actually. I am pretty sure this one's going to go over at least 20 minutes.
I seem to recall you made a bet like this last game, and that didn't happen.
But this one,
this
I
this
have
is
the
the one.
feel. I have the feeling.
Well, we will have to see. I know that North Carolina had quite a convincing win in their last round of the tournament, whipping out some comfort picks. They had, an Oriana, Kindred, Leona, things that you don't see every single game, especially not in like LCS. But as we've seen pretty quickly here in the tournament, players are sticking more to comfort than what's meta, and I think that speaks a lot to what we hold true here at Scuffed League. Comfort.
Doesn't matter how much you mess up as long as you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah. Quote that. um, but yeah, this is our second game. I know we have a couple more games tonight. I believe that North Carolina is going to be on blue side, so that means New Jersey, of course, is on the red side. The types of bands that I would expect to see coming out, I know that there's a lot of Diana played for Panda, who's the mid laner for North Carolina. I personally love this champion. You can kind of just one shot people. Um, so, her ultimate is just absolutely disgusting. And we'll see if New Jersey decides to ban him as we jump into draft here.
All right. Ooh, starting off it with a nice Graves ban already. And a Darius. He's
Quick
going
fire.
pretty fast. Ooh, and a Yumi. The Graves, Yumi, and Darius ban so far.
Yeah, like we saw last game, the Graves can definitely take over the game pretty quickly. Super heavy power farming coming out of Iowa's jungler, so not surprised to see that go.
And what it looks like so far with North Carolina. Ooh, and the Nunu ban. With North Carolina banning that Yumi, it looks like they're already going after what I believe is New Jersey's support. If I'm saying this right, Zamarath?
Yeah, Zamarath. I believe, he's mostly at ADC main, so I think I saw that Yumi was his best support champion, so not surprised to see that come out either. And Olaf ban, always a strong ban in the jungle. Probably a counter to something that they're planning on picking, as I don't believe that New Jersey's jungler plays much. And it is going to be Hecarim. Olaf, known to be decently strong in Hecarim, match his early game prowess in the jungle.
Ooh, but it's sort of off because it doesn't look like North Carolina actually plays much Hecarim.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Obviously they're all diamond players. They can pick up champions pretty easily, but I think Hecarim is a really strong pick right now. Just with his early game damage, he can chase people down, really mess things up in a team fight with his ultimate. So I like the pick.
But then the Ash pick into the Hecarim, that is a really strong pick into Hecarim with constant slows, nice stunning ultimate. See him coming down river, shoot that ult up at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said last game, Ash is a really strong pick, so definitely like to see that. And then an Orianna mid lane for Tommy Toesucker, New Jersey.
Tommy sucking on them toes.
Sucking on them toes. We'll see what North Carolina responds with, as we've seen both of the major damage carries come out from New Jersey already.
Ooh, and then the Nautilus pick. We saw Nautilus last game. Wasn't really too big. Oh, trading it to a Silas. That could be Silas mid or Silas jungle. Silas jungle is still good.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is going to go mid. He can steal both the Ash and the Orianna ult. So those are all, Silas is a great pick, no matter where you are in the draft, honestly, because he can steal ultimates, and it forces the enemy team to double think about what champions they want to pick, because they know that he'll be able to harness the power of their ultimate in the game. So,
which also should make them choose wisely the next couple picks in bans.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
big AoE ultimates can be turned against their team real quick.
Yeah, I like the Xayah pick as well. She's not super popular right now. She's gained a little bit of popularity. I don't know if she experienced some buffs or anything like that, but
the Leona pick.
Yeah,
Leona is really strong right now, especially with 3 different forms of CC, with 3 different CC abilities.
Yeah, and I love the combo of Leona with Orianna. So hopefully New Jersey can pull off that wombo.
I mean, if North Carolina didn't ban the Olaf and actually picked the Olaf instead, that could have been a really good counter for that Leona too.
Yeah, North Carolina actually whipped out the Orianna last game they played, so it's a good pick to take the Orianna away. Also, a really good ban of the Rakan for New Jersey, as he's quite often paired with the Xayah for that passive damage with Xayah W. And he's just a great engaged support, as we saw last game, the jungle Rakan all over the map, just making things happen. So I like those 2 support bans coming out from New Jersey with the Morgana as well.
And then we see another Lilia ban this game.
Yeah, I think Lilia is pretty strong champion, especially in higher elos. You see she's picked pretty heavily. So, I guess I didn't know that anybody on New Jersey played that much, but still a strong pick to ban out. We'll see what New Jersey decides to go with their jungle and top.
Kayn. Kayn is actually extremely strong right now, especially if he's going red Kayn, because of just his passive is, I believe it comes up to around 45% healing on abilities when hitting enemy champions. And then matching that with the Death Stance, and then what it looks like, it does look like they have a lot of AP, so if Silas does get strong, he could build Spirit Visage and then become an extremely strong healing tank, which there's a Galio, which a little bit more AP.
Interesting. So it looks like that is going to be a Galio support to match up against the Leona and the Ash, and then the Ornn to round it out. So another tank in the top lane. So now that we have all the picks in, Stump, who are you thinking wins this draft? What are the win conditions here for each team?
I believe the win condition for New Jersey is being able to lock down the Silas and the Xayah with Leona. Also, that Kayn could be used to really take down that Galio, because of if he goes, like I said, red Kayn, his ultimate actually heals him for the max HP of whoever he ults. So if that Galio is going straight up tank, he could ult out of that Galio, gain most of his HP back, and be able to return right back into the fight where he first was.
Yeah, another thing to point out with the Kayn pick is if he decides that he wants, if the Xayah gets fed, he can ult the Xayah and actually wait out her ultimate if she ults right away. It's going to be a bit of a mind game on who presses R first in that encounter. But I think Silas has some really good ults to take away from New Jersey. New Jersey has this really good team fight oriented comp with the Ornn, the Leona, and the Oriana. But Silas can steal any one of those ultimates and change it in the favor of North Carolina as well. Lots of knockups and just kind of AoE damage between the Hecarim, Silas, Wukong, Galio. So I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch team fights in.
So it also looks like the North Carolina is centered around not trying to adjust team fight, but also trying to pick out backline. With the Silas being able to dive into the team, the Wukong being able to dive in the team, Galio being able to dive into the team, and Hecarim, his ultimate can displace the front line and allow them to get easily into the back line.
Definitely. And, one thing that I am going to look at is this Xayah is going to probably need to fend for herself. As you said, North Carolina's looking for a lot of dive with their comp, with the Hecarim, most likely ulting into their team with the Galio ult. If anybody's able to get onto this Xayah, who's there to help her out? There's not a whole lot of shielding. They have a decent amount of CC, but if she gets isolated against a Kayn, she's going to have some trouble. So I will be surprised, or I will be interested to see what this Kayn decides to go between red or blue Kayn. But like you're saying, that red Kayn very strong, and I would expect him to go red Kayn this game.
Especially against their comp.
Yeah.
I mean, Galio's going to end up building armor. Wukong will most likely end up building a little bit of armor at least. Silas, Zhonya's not many armor items to really choose from. Might build it if it comes down to it. He's most likely going to build Merctrites because of the CC from the enemy team. But he could build a Ninja Tabby if Ashe starts to get fed, or if Kayn's prominent in his lane. He can build a Ninja Tabby to get around that. But then Kayn's also going to be most likely building a Black Cleaver and being able to shred through most of the armor they have.
Yeah, and I'm really looking at the side lanes this game. I feel like every time I say this, I get proven differently, and it ends up being like mid lane in this instance that's going to be important. But I think, mid lane's going to be pretty back and forth. Oriana's just looking to scale up. Same thing with the Ashe. But with this interesting support pick, the Galio in the bot lane, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the bot lane, and as well as top lane. Wukong, I would hope that he looks to play pretty aggressive in this Ornn early on and try to get some kind of lead for himself, because if this Wukong's able to TP into a team fight and get a really big ult off, that damage is huge for them to win a team fight.
Ooh. Another thing, I believe they didn't change this out of Wukong's kit, but doesn't his W still shred armor? It still gives it like armor pen?
I am not sure. I'm not a huge Wukong player. I'd have to double check that. We could take a look here quick. We've got time.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, Wukong, he can build items and things like that as well. That allow him to shred tanks. And, if you think about it, the real only front line for New Jersey is going to be that Leona and Ornn. I mean, Kayn, if he goes red form, will be a bit more of a bruiser. But gosh, I've been going back and forth, like, which team comp do I like more between New Jersey and North Carolina? And I'm really leaning towards New Jersey. And I really like this, that the teams that are sort of the underdogs are winning the drafts. And I say win the draft, and in the sense that I like what they're doing more with their team comp. They've got more AoE, they've got a lot of CC and things like that. So just a little more standard team comp than North Carolina's.
Yeah, but it looks like it does reduce the target's armor for 3 seconds. It doesn't shred it, but it does reduce it.
Okay.
Max level, I believe it reduces it by 30% of the target's armor.
All right. So and that's Wukong W, right?
That's Wukong Q. His
Q.
W, which is his Trickster, gives him the invisibility for 1 second and a decoy, which the decoy can also use the ability from the Q. So if he uses Q while his clone's out, his Q also gets that. So there's a chance that the Wukong clone hits him, and then he turns around and goes and hits him again. Which if It does last for 5 seconds. It does empower it for 5 seconds. So if he can get his clone to hit it and then him go in with another one and hit it, that's 6 seconds of the target's armor reduced.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. We'll have to see if adopted alien or Alan can.
Alan or Alien?
I believe it's Alan. We'll see if he's able to kind of assert himself as a threat in the top lane against Peels' Ornn. And then obviously both junglers looking to get onto that back line and create havoc in team fights. So I just think, like I said, I think this is a really fun game. I think both team comps have their strengths, and it'll just be a matter of execution at this point. You know, as we saw last game, South Dakota, while their team comp was centered around this Yasuo and looked pretty good, you know, once you get onto the Rift, it's a whole other story. So I like New Jersey's comp, but as we said, you know, North Carolina Glamour has the diamond, the full diamond team. So they're no slouches when it comes to the game, and they're definitely coming in with some kind of game plan.
It's like it all comes down to how are their team fights gonna go, and how their team fights are gonna go, and it depends on if the Hecarim's gonna take advantage and go into the Kane's jungle early and try to lower pressure from the Kane.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get onto the Rift here. I believe that New Jersey's going to want to play pretty safe early on. Like we said, all their players are happy to just scale up, and I would hope that they maybe concede some early objectives if it's looking a little too sketchy for them, because if this Sylas gets ahead early enough, you know, gets some kills, he is great in scrappy team fights. Same thing with the Wukong and the Hecarim. So I'm going to be looking for Kane on the side of New Jersey to kind of get some cheeky scuttlers, maybe get the Rift Herald trade for Dragon, things like that, where, you know, they're getting as much as they can, but they're not forcing fights that they can't necessarily win early game.
Right. Well, looking at this, there's one thing I didn't take into account is with Galio's ultimate, Wukong can go invisible and dash into the enemy team, and then that Galio can ult on top of him. With then Wukong ulting, knocking him up, keeping him in that Galio ult. It's mid to late game. It's just gonna be positioning.
Yeah, you know, and we're gonna see a blue start for the Hecarim, a typical Raptors start for the Kane. You'll see that pretty often. You start Q, he clears it very quickly. Gonna move to his red buff next. Hecarim probably gonna go blue Grump and then red. That's a quick level 3, and then look for a bot scuttler or a gank bot lane. So pretty standard starts from the junglers here. We'll see what Kane decides to do, if he looks for maybe an early gank top lane. Mid lane looking pretty even right now. Wukong going in for some trades on the Ornn.
That's one thing I like so far, is that Galio is trying to poke down that Leona and that Ashe with his Qs. But the level, with them being aggressive now level 2, once level 3 comes around, they could come into some problems with Leona all-inning on either Galio or the Xayah down bot lane and then picking up a kill.
Yes, we are going to see the bot lane get early prio here. They're going to head up, get some vision over the wall there, just in case the Kane's coming for a gank. He did do his Krugs, and now he's heading all the way down to his Wolves, so going to go just for a full clear here. Looks like Hecarim's doing the same thing, so we'll look for a scuttle fight in the bot lane in a few minutes or a few moments here when it spawns. Meanwhile, we see Sylas get a deep ward up towards the red buff of New Jersey.
Did that Xayah just miss a cannon?
I believe that Xayah just missed a cannon.
Come on, Xayah. You can't be missing cannons out here like that.
Come on,
You cannot be
Korea.
missing cannons out here like that.
Sylas getting zoned out a bit by the Orianna with that range advantage. Meanwhile, Galio just kind of getting in their face. Hits a double taunt. Hits the knock-up as well. That's a lot of damage. Heal comes up from the Ashe. Now the re-engage. And both bot lanes. Meanwhile, Leona re-engages. Exhaust comes out as well, but I think she doesn't want to take that fight.
Yeah, that Leona understood there after that. She
Nice
understood that she was
knock up, and the
first
taunt
blood.
flash from the Xayah gets first blood. Meanwhile, we got a fight in the mid lane. Silas going in, and that's going to be another kill. Strova with a kill on the Hecarim. And we've got a fight in the top lane as well. Ornn putting in that damage with his passive. And we've already got a spicy one here, but it is North Carolina coming out on top with 2 kills, and Hecarim is going to take that top scuttler as well.
Orianna, Orianna teleported back in the lane, it looks like.
Yep, and she doesn't want that wave to crash in, so
yeah.
good move there.
But now she's also in a threat of, oh, never mind, looks like he's backing. That could have been another Hecarim gank into mid lane, but it looks like he's just going to take Raptors, and she's going to ward it for now.
Yeah, so Orianna does spot the Hecarim on the Raptors there, and he's gonna head up towards top side here. Ornn has flash, so he should be fine, but they might be able to force it out here, especially if he uses his E. Wukong goes in with the E, and Ornn plays it safe, dashes out. He will be fine. Just whacking minions away with his hammer.
Hopefully soon he starts whacking Wukong more with that hammer, especially with that grasp he has there. He can proc grasp a couple times, get a little bit more HP, a little bit more damage out, a little bit more healing in.
Yeah, goes in for a bit of a trade here. Wukong is just going to dash out with his E there. Perfectly fine. And, you know, though Ornn has that wave frozen there, he is a little bit low HP. We do see Kayn up towards top side. Wukong plays aggressive, and if Ornn re-engages here, they might be able to get a kill. Very low, though. Here comes the Kayn through the wall. Wukong's got to get out of this. He uses the bush for lack of vision. Dashes out. Wukong's got a lot of damage. Flash out from the Kayn. And well played, Adopted Allen. Forces both members from New Jersey to get out of the lane. Wow.
Whew. One thing I saw, though, is that Kayn, if Kayn had waited a little longer, he would have actually won that trade. Because
Yeah, you know,
he didn't wait long enough for the Conqueror to come off from Wukong.
Yeah, good trading from Wukong there. You know, he's got a bit of a CS lead. That Cull already had 54 minions left there. Meanwhile, bot lane, a bit of a CS advantage for the Xayah with that 1 kill. She's got that BF sword. Hits a nice E. Knockup misses, but taunt will hit on the Leona, who engages. Xayah getting all kinds of damage out, feathers everywhere. And that is a great trade for North Carolina as the minion wave crashes into the tower.
See, now I understand why Kayn doesn't want to gank bot too much, but it looks like he's going to have to try to prioritize ganking bot this game.
Well, it does look like Hecarim started up the dragon now. Ashe E is going to spot him out here, but I think he feels perfectly fine taking this as his bot lane has all kinds of priority over them. Kayn is down here as well, so we could see a bit of a fight here in the dragon pit. Their bot lane's so low, though. And Hecarim's going to run for the hills. Kayn might go for the steal here. We do see Orianna coming down, but the bot lane in North Carolina has priority. And this is getting messy real quick. Orianna ult stolen, but it misses. Oh, and that was actually the normal Ori ult. So Ori ults are traded, and it's a 1-for-1 of the junglers. Meanwhile, Leona on the side of New Jersey did fall. And it looks like at the end of the day, North Carolina is going to come away with the Wind Dragon.
Now, one thing I wish we could check right now is how far is Kayn's passive right now, or we're unable to get that?
We might be able to.
All right. So we don't know if Kayn's yet close to form.
Yeah, you know, he did tussle a little bit there. Meanwhile, we got a fight in the top lane. Ghost pop from Hecarim pulls the Ornn into tower range on top of the Wukong, and that's going to be a nice kill going over to Adopted Allen, playing very well on this Wukong in the top lane.
All right, Kayn 38% to passive. Well, 41% now. All right.
All right, so not even halfway there yet. It is going to be a very big spike once he does get there. It looks like he is fighting the Wukong top lane, and he is a level down, but Kayn does have ultimate. Gonna wait on it. Meanwhile, we got fighting in the bot lane, and Kayn waits on his ultimate, ends up not being able to get anything from that roam topside, just forcing Adopted Allen out of lane. Meanwhile, Ashe fried chicken on New Jersey getting pushed out of lane with that immense poke damage coming out from the Zyad. Now about a 24 CS lead for Caprius, I believe it said, on the side of North Carolina, and they're going to get a few plates here now.
Whew. Well, with you said how top lane how Kane held his ult, I understand why, because that he didn't know if that Wukong had flash or not, and if he had ulted onto that Wukong could have flashed under turret, and then turned around and killed the Kane. So
Yeah,
it was
you know,
a smart move, not all in and ult him there.
The Wukong's feeling pretty strong right now. He's got his Tiamat. He is just farming up like a storm. You know, good job from Peels to keep up in that farm. And he's actually pushing this wave into him. You know, I would have expected that the Kayn actually stayed topside and went for the Rift Herald here, as they do have top lane priority now. But he is going to be bot side now. And the jungle pathing just a little bit disjointed here, I'd say, from the Kayn. You know, you want to try to focus on where you can get objectives at every moment. We're going to see a bit of a trade top lane here, and you still see that Bramble's Breath. I believe that's the name of it. Either way, lots of damage from the Ornn there. As you all know, he is a tank assassin mage, so.
Yeah, you never know how much damage he's going to be letting out there.
And like I said, you know, yeah, Kayn decides to path bot side despite their top lane priority. And that means that Strova on the Hecarim is going to be able to secure it with Adopted Allen. And that'll be their second neutral objective going over. Meanwhile, Silas going in on the Kayn in the Raptor pit. Kayn has to flash out. His ult is stolen away. And I would have liked to see a re-engage from the Kayn there. You know, I guess Hecarim was in the area, but maybe he ults in. Orianna gets that damage in, and they maybe pop the Silas. But altogether, just playing it safe, trying to wait for that scaling like I've been talking about. Orianna trying to farm up, Ashe trying to farm up, that Ornn trying to get tanky. They're happy to wait till late game to wait for some fights, get those item spikes.
So now if New Jersey can just try to not fight as much and just go for objectives, I know that'll end up hurting the Kayn.
All right, looks like we had a bit of a connection issue with our top, with the ADC of New Jersey. We'll see what the issue was there. We'll jump into an intermission here until they get that sorted out. But Stump, you know, this game is fairly close if you think about the scaling that is on the side of New Jersey. You know, they've given over Rift Herald, they've given over Dragon, and a few kills, but looks like we are actually just going to jump right back into the game here. You know, what do you think New Jersey has to do to kind of stay in this game and get to where they want to be?
Right now, I believe just them trying to not fight as much but farm. It would be...
All right, we are having more connection issues with the Zaya there, so continue that thought, though.
If they can continue to try to farm up, since, yes, they have the Ashe down there that has the call. If she can finish that call as soon as possible, get that extra, what is it, 300 gold from it now? I think it was.
I think it's 350.
350?
Yeah, I think you get 300 from the item total, and then you get 150 from selling it. So.
All right. But then that little bit of bonus gold should be able to help her finish her first weapon, or her first item. Why did I say weapon? Technically, it is a weapon. Her first item.
All the items are weapons, you know.
Yeah, until you get to a shield.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here, you know, Wukong also got a call in the top lane. He only has 8 minions left to finish his, as opposed to the 32 on the Ashe. So you can just see the difference in farm, even just between those two different players. We are going to go live here in just two seconds here. And we're back.
Wait, never mind. He was quick reconnect.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the Zaya here. Hopefully they can get the connection issues figured out. I think she is in game. We do see Hecarim here. Nice taunt coming out from the Galio.
Ooh, and the quick burst down on
Hecarim. Hecarim follows up with the ultimate. Will miss it. Good flash out from the Leona, but altogether good play. Meanwhile, we see a TP. Orianna ult is going to go in. Kayn ult from the Silas, but I believe he will fall here. W hits from Kayn, and this should be a dive. Kayn ults. Orianna shields herself, but dies to tower damage, and this is looking bad. Kayn just gets out through the wall with its E healing, and really well played from Panda in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Ornn hits a knockup. Nice Bell's Breath. Great damage. Ornn ult coming through here. If he hits it, he might get the kill. Flash is under tower. Flash comes out from the Wukong. He ults back in while tower is hitting the Ornn. And Tanky Man Ornn stays alive. Meanwhile, Kayn is here. They're going to look for the tower dive despite their low health bars. And Adopted Allen does not have help, but I believe he will get out of this. They don't want to go for the dive. Altogether, really well played from the solo lanes there.
Ooh, it
Meanwhile,
does look
bot
like
lane did take their turret and get dragon there as well.
it's an unfortunate for New Jersey right now.
Yeah, you know, I really respect them going for those plays, but just slight lack of execution, not quite enough damage. Not able to get kills top or mid.
I really did want to see this Kayn pop off this match. Well, there's still time. There's still time.
He
But
does have one kill, the one kill for New Jersey. Top lane TP for Ornn. He might just go in on the Wukong, but he is going to W out. Nice knockup. And this could be some nice follow-up damage from Ornn, but Phage speed up is going to get the Wukong out of there just safe. But you can see this. Ornn is playing properly aggressive in this lane. You know, Kayn's playing towards the top side. He's going to see Sylas in the jungle here. Nice E from Sylas hits, and he's just going to burst the Kayn down. Really nice damage, and I don't think that the Kayn was expecting that damage. Just gets popped.
I don't think the Kayn was expecting that E to land.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Those chains hit. Orianna ult coming out from the Sylas. Galio is here, but he fails his E into the wall. Nice ult coming out of the Orianna, but the follow-up from Galio does help secure the kill for Panda. And another good kill. Meanwhile, Hecarim, we've seen this before. Eased him back. This time, not quite into tower range, but the Hecarim does have ult if he needs to use it. Wukong is going to use his ult. Gets a little bit low. That's going to be another kill going over to Stroba in the top lane. And Ornn peels on this. Ornn just trying his hardest to have some sort of bright spot for New Jersey, but Hecarim coming up there, helping his top laner out. And the monkey and the headless horseman. He's not even headless. What do you even call Hecarim? A centaur?
Yeah, I believe it would an undead centaur. He's an undead centaur.
The monkey and the undead centaur take down Ornn. And it's going to be a long walk back for him as he used TP just recently.
Like, well, this Hecarim sure is making his presence known on this map right now. I believe he's been in every lane, gotten kills in every lane so far. Kayn is sort of lacking in the pressure department right now.
Yeah, and it's definitely tough when the plays that you go for don't actually work out, you know. New Jersey's still just trying to scale up, do as much as they can. We do see a roam from the support here as the bot lane's moving mid, and it looks like they might just go for a 3-man push, maybe get this tower here. Dragon should be spawning in the next couple minutes here as well. They'll be looking for their third dragon, as this map is a mountain soul. And they are sitting on a ward there too, so if they're looking for any play, North Carolina definitely sees it coming.
Ooh. Looks like it is going to be a tough game for New Jersey.
Yeah, you know, I don't think they're completely out of it yet. There is some hope for them. They can keep scaling up. Ashe has finished her call. She's just going to hold on to it for the stats right now. The Ornn items eventually will start coming in, and, you know, once Kayn hits form here, nice Ashe ult into the Orianna ult. Ornn ult hits as well. We've got a big fight here. Lots of ults coming out. Hecarim ult into the backline, gets a kill onto the Kayn. Xayah barely gets out with her life. Meanwhile, Hecarim is wreaking havoc in this team fight. A triple kill for him. Wukong gets a kill on the back end, and he wants more. He's rumbling and tumbling, but he is going to decide to stay in the jungle, play it safe, and might see a dive here. Nice play from the Sylas. Hits the GLP into the E, and that's going to be a clean ace for the side of North Carolina, barely getting their ADC out of the team fight, while the top side of the team cleans up the kills. Really well played.
And I believe that Orianna thought that the Hecarim was going to try to make the loop around and not the Sylas making the loop around. Because that looked like that Hecarim was ready for some more blood.
Yeah, he definitely was. He had the ghost still running there, so he had the movement speed to get in there, but he decided to leave Panda and adopted Allen to that. Meanwhile, Leona goes in for a play, but that's not who you want to engage onto. That is a tanky Galio. Now their bot lane is isolated here, but they do get out with the Scuttle Crab speed up. And it looks like New Jersey's going to try to set up for the Dragon here, as they don't want to give any more away, and they don't want to just secede the game away. They're going to try to contest here. A lot of key ultimates will be coming up in a few seconds here. Hecarim ult coming back up soon. Xayah ult almost up. Horn ult just a few more seconds. Everybody else's are up. So New Jersey trying to play to their win condition of team fighting, but they are quite a bit down right now. Meanwhile, we do see Rift spawn. Galio goes in for a taunt. Not going to start anything there. Ashe hits an ult. Hecarim goes into the back line, fears away the Kayn. Horn is in the middle of the team. So is Leona. They do get the kill on the Silas. That's a big shutdown, but Hecarim picks up a kill as well. Wukong spinning. Double kill over to the Xayah at the end of the day. And the Rift Herald is still pushing mid, while North Carolina will take the Dragon after that clean fight again.
That's another thing I like teams, seeing teams do, is use that rift as you choose either this objective or your towers. And then most of the time, the people will not choose their towers and then go for that objective and end up losing towers, thus also giving up the objective, because they most likely won't be able to pick it up because the other team already has the rift, which means they're most likely ahead.
Yeah, you know, I like New Jersey trying to go for the full commit for the Dragon, but the team fight becomes a little bit disjointed when the Hecarim just ults into their backline with a Galio ult. Galio ult did miss everybody, I believe, but you know, New Jersey able to get that 800 gold shutdown on the Silas. Unfortunately, I do believe it went over to the Leona, so not a lot of gold getting into the pockets of Orianna or Ashe.
Looks like all the kills, really mostly to Hecarim and the Silas on North Carolina side.
Definitely some
Hecarim.
team play.
Looks like It looks like Hecarim's gonna be building a Death Dance here after he has his Trinity Force. Hasn't finished his jungle item yet though.
Yeah, and you know, that's pretty common, you know, for champions that build Triforce, you want to get that item as quickly as possible. It's just so efficient on champions like Hecarim, and once you get that first item, you really don't need to finish the enchantment on your jungle item. It's honestly a matter of preference, but like you said, rushing that Trinity Force, it's going to be a good move for him. Kayn going to get forced off of his Gromp.
Hecarim's just have an overwhelming presence on the map because of most of them not taking Flash. I've seen some Hecarim take Flash, but most of them taking Ghost. Them being able to speed themselves up, run around the map faster, plus their damage going off of how fast they're going.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Ghost over Ignite. I think Ignite is the typical other one that you see on the most recent patches with Hecarim. If you go Ignite, you're looking for more early game fighting, but I think Ghost overall is just a better summoner on him throughout the whole game. It really allows you to get onto that backline with ease as you just speed in there with your E and Ghost. Kayn sitting on a ward there is going to get picked out at his Raptors, hits a knockup and will get out, but it's just so hard for them to do anything in the jungle here right now. Ornn also going to get pushed away. Silas takes the E. Decent amount of burst there, and Ornn not able to trade a whole lot back.
I mean, it's another game where if the red team had vision, they could make more plays, but looks like they're clearing all the vision. They're clearing it all. But also doesn't look like...
That is a missed ult from the Leona and a missed knockup from the Ornn. Great W out from the Wukong to miss both of those key team fight engagement abilities. Meanwhile, Kayn kind of just running into the jungle here. Nice double knockup. He's going to have to ult to survive here. Meanwhile, the Ornn ult with the Ashe ult comes in. Kayn flashes out into the Wukong ult. Wukong is on the backline, hits 3 knockups. Nice Orianna ult cancels Silas E. This could be a good fight for New Jersey, but they're all low. Galio flashes in, taunts on 3. And the tower dive is successful for New Jersey as uh, Caprius picks up a double kill on the Zaya, now 509. And they're going to look to open up the base here, both mid lane and top lane. Orin going to try his best to defend his base.
Man. Hey, but at least this game is going over 20 minutes so far. We're at what, 23 minutes?
Hey, that is right, Stump. A bit more of a closer fight. New Jersey fighting back, trying to make plays, at least not just conceding everything on the map without any fight.
Now, what we saw early game, it could have been anyone's game, even at the 1-7 point, because of New Jersey's team having a decent level 6 power spike. But they took advantage of Hecarim having a couple more kills early game and him being able to roam more, and sort of turned it against the Orin top lane, who was actually doing pretty good against that Wukong early game.
Yeah, he definitely was. It just was unfortunate that the Kane couldn't really snowball any kind of lead for him. And, they didn't get the Rift Herald like I talked about. That was a bit of a throw. And, now we see the 4th dragon spawning. This is for Mountain Soul. And all of North Carolina is already waiting in the river just to see if New Jersey even wants to give it a shot. It does look like New Jersey's actually all heading up to Baron to see if they could maybe trade. It does look like Ash is running back into the base, and I don't know, man. It just looks like New Jersey is kind of accepting defeat here. No team fight there. They can't really get out of their base.
Them picking up that Mountain Soul was really big for them, especially for that Gallia who shield atop a shield right now.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. He's got the blue shield and the white shield.
I mean, hey, if he had a Seris like that Oriana does, be shield on top of shield on top of shield.
I don't know if Saris Galio supports the best move, Stump. Be honest with you.
I don't know. You never know.
That could be the tech. We are going to see Silas waiting on the other side of the wall just to zone them out with the Wukong. They really only need the Zaya and a front line to take the Baron down, and they have complete vision control. We are going to see a fight here. Galio coming on top. Kane did all to get out of that knockup. Ornalt, they're all bunched up. Hecarim finishes off the Baron, and Galio's taking up the entire team. Hecarim Alt's over the wall. That is going to be a kill onto the Kane. Big knockup coming in from the Ornn, but they just don't have any damage. They can't kite. Galio W hits. Another double kill over to Caprius on the Zaya. And Wukong is in the base. Oriana's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Gonna run out of the base. Sal's gonna hit the E. That's an easy kill for him. 300 Gs in his pocket. And it does look like North Carolina is gonna close this game out.
It was like early game. It was a nice close game. It was a pretty decent fight that New Jersey put up here. They did not go down without taking some of them with them.
They did not go soft into that good night. There's 5 members still alive to the 4 that are alive on the side of New Jersey. They've taken every single inhib out here with the minions. Silas is going to use Leona ult onto the Ash. Practically 100 to 0 him. Galio hitting a nice taunt there. Zaya going to get another couple kills there, and this is going to be a cleanup from North Carolina. Very clean game, 31 to 4. And they're going to look for a little more damage before they finish off the Nexus. Very clean game there, Stump, from North Carolina. Not a whole lot that you can do against that type of team play. Really good roaming across the map from the whole team.
Ooh. It's another time where there's another 11 kill person on the enemy team. One team. Last game was
The Lysandra.
Sandra. This game it's the Hecarim.
Definitely clean play.
It's another game where Hecarim proves to be the better jungler.
Yeah, you got to give props again over to the jungler on the side of New Jersey, on the Kane, trying to make things happen. But at the end of the day, Hecarim does prevail. I'd probably give MVP over to Strova in the jungle. Very clean play, great farm, great control of the map. But that's going to do it for game 2. North Carolina Glamour takes down New Jersey Hunt in convincing fashion. So that is going to be all for me and Stump. Thanks for tuning in for these first couple games.